welcome back, and we're moving into our first segment for the morning. This company continues to raise the level, raise the bar, actually, when it comes to information technology in our country, and we're talking here Fultec Systems. Digital IT transformation, disaster recovery, business continuity, best practice seminar. Whew, I nearly ran out of breath telling you exactly what's going on with Fultec Systems. Now, in with us to tell us more about it, actually, we've got Trevor Reneau. He's the Assistant General Manager at Fultec Systems. In the middle there, we've got Sebastien Cabrera. Sebastien is actually on, to my right. Sebastien Cabrera is actually Dell Systems Consultant, and Jose Torres, he is actually Dell Territory Manager. Guys, good morning. It's so nice to have you in, and welcome.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
We hear so much about all the computer brands. We hear so much about all these brands, but we know there's one that normally sticks out. And Fultec Systems actually have got you guys top notch. We're talking Dell. Not the symposium, but the seminar is coming up. Before we get into all of it, let's talk a little about Fultec Systems and why Dell.
Well, Fultec Systems, based upon our mission, is we've actually provided great quality product solutions to our customers with partnerships with these technology companies and everything of that sort, because we're a tech company as well. And so we're a Dell Gold partner, Dell EMC Gold partner, I should say. And so we've been buying and pushing a lot of the technology that Dell has to offer to our customers here in Belize. And with this partnership, as you can see, we have Jose and Sebastien here to help us push the technology realm to a next level to our customers by providing, great quality products and services that each and every business and person needs within Belize. All right?
Absolutely.
Well, there's always some benefit to having the big international companies, because Dell is an international conglomerate, I put it that way, in Belize. But Belize is a small market. Why have this sort of partnership in Belize?
I think smaller markets have even more importance. If you talk to technology people, there's one common thing. They're always busy, right? Technology is something that is sometimes in the back, but when it doesn't work, everybody notices, right? So the challenge for IT folks sometimes is to stay on top of technology trends, and that's why we wanted to come here down and talk a little bit about digital transformation and how is everything changing around that. And to give you a very simple example, when you think about digital transformation, it's nothing else than bringing technology to the traditional services. Think about when in the past, you will go to a bank, and what you will expect is to go with a paper, hand it out, a person will basically take care of it, and then come back with a request. Nowadays, do you really expect that? Right? No, what you want is an app, right? So you want everything to be technology driven. Like, I was talking to Sebastien last night, and we were agreeing, but things have changed so much. Like, if you have to buy a ticket, the first thing that comes to your mind is Google. You gotta go to Google and search, right? So that is digital transformation, right? Everything has become digitally transformed by just bringing technology on board. So it's basically simplifying everything and being able to do new services to your customers, leveraging technology. So that's why I think it's so important to be down here, because if we want to be, my market, or what I cover, is the Caribbean. So what we want to do is help our customers become more competitive, stay on top. And I think there's no better way than meeting with our customers and talking about it.
Definitely, but Sebastien, I'm here sitting down thinking to myself, and then again with the audience out there might be thinking, Dell, we know that these people are giants. They're giants, but we talk about the system, and are we in of ourselves with a Dell system? Tell us about Dell's system.
Okay, so there's the misconception that having an entirely digital, automated IT infrastructure has to be complex, has to be big. The reality is technology today can actually be addressed to every type of business, from the smallest to the largest. So part of my role at Dell is actually assist our customers into making sure that they are aware of what type of technologies are there in the market that can help them be more competitive, that can help them do more with less resources. So everything that can be automated Unfortunately, today there's more than one way to do it, right? So part of my role is to ensure that they are aware of all the different ways of doing it, and of course, how Dell can assist them if they are willing to go into that direction, to be more competitive, to basically do more with less.
You did mention the word unfortunately,
Yeah.
and that's the word that stuck out to me, because you said unfortunately there are many ways to do it. I would think more is better.
So the problem with that, it's so when you look at what marketing can do, it can take something very simple and basically advertise it as complex as they want, right? So sometimes there's no wrong way of doing it. You have more than one way of doing it. But whenever you're going to do an investment on IT, you're looking probably at a 5-year investment. You want to make sure that whatever you select is the right decision for you, for your business, and that it will basically guarantee that whenever someone questions why you went in that direction, you can justify it. The problem is there are more than one direction to do it, right? And I would say it becomes even more complex when you add different other projects on top of that about what are your expectations. So yes, you have 3 ways of doing this, but if in the future you also want to do that, then maybe out of those 3 ways, these 2 are the better options.
Could you talk to us about the challenges that you've been finding that for the usage of the machines or the technology in Belize? I know that we have difficulty in terms of reliability of the internet, which is a lot of what it's based on when you're living outside the office. And cost is always a huge factor for us. But what are the other challenges? If those 2 are challenges, what are other challenges that you find and you meet?
I would say the biggest challenge is definitely business continuity, disaster recovery. And this is not necessarily...
What is business continuity?
So the main difference between those 2 concepts is in the event of any type of failure, business continuity, it's a solution that allows you to keep working with no downtime. Disaster recovery is in the event of a disaster, I have a plan to recover. That plan can take months, weeks, days. It's not automated, it's not instant, but at least I have something. So you always need to have those 2. So unfortunately, as you mentioned, the connectivity, I love that word. So the connectivity, it's a limitation that would have on all this region, which will basically limit yourself to where you can store your data. So let's say you have everything here and everything elsewhere, you lost connectivity. It doesn't matter if you have it in more than one place. You don't have a way to access it. So when you go for business continuity, you kind of end up having twice the same information on the same place. So if one goes down, the other one takes over. The disaster recovery is more of having the data also elsewhere.
And in terms of some of the services and features that a Dell model provides for you, more so than your competitors, what is the edge for going in the direction for both business continuity and IT transformation that Dell offers that you probably won't get anywhere else?
So definitely I would say software. If you're able to automate everything, you no longer rely on the hardware. So hardware will fail. It doesn't matter how good it is. It doesn't matter where you are or how new it is. At one point it will fail. You basically rely on the software to make the magic happen.
Just to add up a little bit to that, it's really a different approach to the market. So when you talk about IT transformation, digital transformation, there's more than one component. So there's software, there's PCs, servers, storage. I mean, it's an endless list. The difference between us and our competitors is we're a holding. It's called Dell Technologies. And then you're going to have Dell EMC, which we represent. Then we have sister companies for software, sister companies for security. So it allows us to basically sit down with you and have a complete conversation from the PC to the cloud.
Right.
So that's what really our main differentiator is, the ability of guiding you through the process. We do something called tech profiles with our customers, and it's basically, let's identify the first items that we have to cover, and then let's build a 5-year plan from that. So I think that's really the main approach. And again, it comes down to the time that our IT folks, our customers have to really stay on top of all those trends. Our job is to do that for them and then just provide them options and guide them through the process.
I would want to, for us to continue to venture off into the disaster recovery. And when we hear disaster, we think hurricane. We're in the hurricane season. And while Dell continues to be one of the leading in terms of what we prefer here in Belize, we have these things in our household. We want to know exactly how better practices in terms of disaster recovery. So can we expand more on disaster recovery with Dell?
Definitely. I would say the main best practice is to avoid human interaction entirely. If everything can be taken care every single day automatically, there's no room for mistakes. Whenever you require someone to do a task daily that everything will depend on, if that task is not done for X or Y reason, that's when basically we have a problem. So if you can have everything automated, everything software driven on the, let's say, backup, disaster recovery aspect of the business, then you're more entitled to have a better experience when you have that problem. So either a hurricane or flood or you name it. In the past, the main architecture actually to store the data was tapes. So that will require people to every single day take those tapes, take them elsewhere, put them on a safe. And these people learned the hard way that even though if it's in a safe, if you have a fire, for example, everything that's on the safe will melt. It doesn't matter that the safe will be protected and it will not break. Whatever was inside was melted. Hurricanes and all this type of disaster will show the flaw that their design had. And in most of the time, the main flaw was at one point it required a human to do a repetitive basic task that could be automated and have that person doing more important stuff. So I would say automation is the main
To add
thing.
a little bit, what I will encourage our customers is just ask the question. Sit down with us. Let's talk about it. We have been in conversations with large governments, and they realized that their disaster recovery plan had a big failure. Like, for example, tapes get mold.
Yeah, they do.
Nobody consider it.
In
So they
moist areas, they'll get
and you
mold.
wouldn't use that technology for movies anymore, right? So why would you put your critical data on it, right?
Wow.
So it's all about, let's just pop the question, let's talk about it. That's really our job. So let's sit down, talk about it, do some ideas, brainstorming. We have to find the right balance between cost and business value. And if you can prove to your management team that there's a value on this, I'm sure eventually we'll get the budget to do it, right? But it has to start in that way. You have to start the conversation. If you continue doing the same thing, I heard you about doing an early quote this morning. I have a good one on technology, and it's from Albert Einstein. If you continue to do the same thing, how can you expect different results, right? So that's the first step. You gotta think differently, ask, be willing to challenge yourself to different scenarios, and that's just how basically technology works. Every time you get accustomed to something, it's just gonna change. It's just the way it does.
Nice. Sure.
How does the market break down in Belize? Is it public sector, private sector? There's a big chunk of the market in terms of the Dell usage. Is it public sector? Is there a relationship between the government and Dell in terms of the usage of that brand?
Yes, maybe Trevor, you can speak a little bit more. He has more control over the market, but yes, we interact all over it.
Yeah, definitely. As one of Dell partners, we actually have different sectors. I mean, you have educational, you have the medical,
Yes.
you have governments, you have small business, you have resorts. So there are many aspects that the Dell technology could integrate within their business. Yeah.
It is rare when our household name, Belizean-driven business, would bring in international consultants to tell us about, especially their number one brand. For Fultec Systems, why did we find that as an importance to our country?
Well, it is important. As you know, Dell Technology or Dell EMC is one of the leading technological companies in the world. And I believe one of the biggest in reality. Yeah. And so we partner with them to be like an arm of Dell in Belize to provide each and every business with the quality products and solutions that they deserve. Yeah.
Yet alone, actually having a seminar with this company. Did I say the word correctly? Yeah. Seminar, right?
Seminar.
with this juggernaut of a company, going out on the limb, Fultec Systems, digitally, and actually getting these guys in to do the seminar. Now, tell us about it. Let's expand there.
Well, Fultec Systems is in business for 26 years, as you guys have noticed. July is one of our celebration, is our celebrative month. And with that, we deal with our partners and we bring the wealth and the realm of technology that they have to offer to our customers. And so that is how we do that on a yearly basis. It has become a staple for us, right? As you know, Dell, yes, is one of our big partners, and we do have other partners that we are affiliates of, or with, I should say.
Trev, we've had this conversation before. I have a small business, and I'm always speaking to Trev in terms of what to do better and differently. I like a little bit of a foreshadowing into some of what is going on, what will happen today in the seminar. And I wanted to start off from something very basic. I remember us having a conversation, and you told me, in terms of backup, the rule in terms of backup is have a backup, and then have a backup to the backup, and then have a backup to the backup to the backup. I remember that.
Yeah.
Could you give us a foreshadowing of some of the tips and some of the conversations that you're going to be opening in today's seminar? And could you talk to us about some of the things that you're seeing locally that we're probably not doing the best that we should do about it, and things that we're not tapping into?
Sure. I will say the main one is technology is really to enable human potential, right? You're seeing all these markets, and we talked a little bit about it earlier. So how every country in the Caribbean is trying to be more competitive. So really the idea behind our plan is to try to help our customers be more customer driven, right? Technology is, again, typically seen as a thing on the back. Nowadays, with all this transformation, it's a lot more in the front. Everybody expects technology to be very easy to use. So if you can make the experience to your end customer, whether that's somebody that's watching the television, or if you're a customer from a bank, or if you're just a taxpayer, right? Why not simplify all that process leveraging technology? So the more you head in that way and simplify the experience to your customers, the more competitive you become. So that's really some of the hints we're going to have today. It's really compare the old process versus a new one. How can you leverage it, and how can you change the mindset not only from business management, but from the IT folks that have to a little bit learn the way of, we're not buying servers, we're not buying PCs. We're delivering an experience to a user. So those are some of the hints from my conversation today. Sebastien can expand a little bit on the disaster recovery.
Yeah.
Give us a spoiler, Sebastien.
Yeah. Okay. I would say, so an example, when you buy a car, you go to a dealership, you get the car, you get a good price for it. And you may have multiple dealerships to go to and choose from. Nobody actually built a car by buying a tire from somewhere, an engine from another place. And on IT today, people are doing that. Right? So they build what I call the Frankensteins. So they get parts from different vendors and they try to put it together. Everything might work independently, but not necessarily together. And when there's a problem, they become a ping pong ball across multiple support companies, trying to figure out where the problem originated. So we'll be talking a little bit today about how you can acquire IT similar to a car. Get the entire solution already done by someone who does it every single day, instead of you having to go through that process and figure out how everything works together. And not only that, but it guarantees a better price in the end. If you take an overall picture from a 3-year, 5-year perspective, it's actually cheaper. So there's this misconception in IT where, because people are technical, they don't necessarily have, economical experience buying stuff. So they focus a lot on the CapEx, initial investment of a specific product, and they don't actually take a good look about the overall cost, the OpEx, the total cost of ownership of the solution from a 5-year standpoint. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that in the seminar.
In a case like that, though, because if I'm hearing correctly, what you're encouraging is, if you're going to get a Dell system, get a Dell system. That comes right down to your servers, to your PCs, to your laptops.
Forget about the brand. So if you need a backup solution, get a backup solution. Don't get a backup software, a backup storage device, a network device that needs to connect everything, and a third-party person that will configure everything. You can get a backup solution, connect it to the network, and that's it. So that's type of things we'll be talking today.
Seriously.
Let me give you an example. So leading companies, like one of the examples we use is Netflix, right? Do you know how many updates Netflix does per day?
Nope.
Over 1,000,
Wow.
right? How can you put that burden on your IT team when they are worrying about, did I connect this correctly? Oh, this went down. Oh, that PC had an issue. So the idea is, it's not really about monopolizing the market. It's really about leveraging the resources. So when you talk to a Caribbean customer, and this is all over the region, how many IT resources they have? They have a handful. With one hand, if you can cover it, that's actually a good case.
Wow.
So if you put all that burden of managing the hardware, the updates, this was done right? Then there's the management that my PC had an issue, wrong.
Yeah.
You gotta fix it as soon as possible. So the idea is to simplify that process so that they can pay attention to really what is gonna add value to the business, right? How are we gonna be competing in the next 5 years? Nobody in technology is looking at that. So what happens is that, for example, sales or marketing would find this very shiny application on the web, and we want that. We definitely want that. So then they basically force that down to the IT team, and they have to find a way to make it work together. And as you become, and this is why I think it's a great picture here in Belize, is you're an emerging economy.
Yeah.
You have the chance to do things right. Other countries that already went through that process went one route, and then they realized, oh, this doesn't work. Now we have to change it all over again. So it's really that conversation. So it's really finding the right steps, not really just going down 100% on a vendor, but it's really changing that mindset that the IT role is not really putting stuff together.
Yeah.
You are delivering a value to your business. If your IT equipment goes down, pretty much everybody in this country cannot do business.
That is true.
So it's really, really important that this mindset starts changing.
You know, technology is actually it's driving the world as we
Yep.
speak. Without technology, things will eventually shut down. But I'll tell you what, from the information that is being shared here, I'm sure for some of the folks who will be taking part in this seminar today is actually already in the lead with the information. Now, who takes part in this seminar, and where is it going to be held?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be at the Radisson, and most of the IT leaders within Belize and a whole, IT managers, the managers on a whole, because we want them to be in tune with these technology and understand how easy, implementing digital transformation or Dell on a whole within their business is going to help them out. Don't look at the cost. We're going to help you to continue business from today, from maybe 20 years ago to maybe 100 years from now. And that's our purpose with having partnerships with them.
Is there a
Helping
cost
business.
to be a part of this seminar? Because there are a lot of people who are actually technologically driven. They don't know how to make that step in, and that's one of the things that we need to focus on as well. Because if technology is the way to go, then we want to make it as much easier for folks to be a part of it, and this is where the so much would come in. So is there a cost to it?
Well, we actually deal with the actual cost for our customers in a whole. And in reality, this specific seminar that we're having is a closed seminar at this specific time period.
Oh, okay.
So there were already pre-selected people to actually come of where we see some of the solutions that we have to offer will benefit immediately.
Wow.
So
Well,
And it starts at
8.
at 8 this morning.
This morning. So we're actually pushing them. I would just like to also say that it's our celebration month on a whole July, and with every $50 you purchase at Fultec Systems, you get a chance to win fabulous prizes.
Wow.
You get to win one of our laptop bundles. You get every single thing to deal with your laptop, your printer, your backpack, your office software. You get all of that. We get an actual all-in-one printer where you get a full year's supply of ink that you can win. We have fabulous prizes that you could go and treat yourself. If you're in IT and you win one of these prizes, you could go to Abraham Hirmoda for a wash and blow. You have an overnight stay at Island Magic. You have a round trip ticket to Kikaka, courtesy Belize Water Taxi Express. You have Pink Boutique.
Things happening.
Things happening, man. You also have a photo shoot with Richard Holder as well.
Wow.
You can capture those specific moments. So at Fultec Systems, we're here to give back to our customers, and we'd love for you to come and ask us questions so that we can be engaging to you, to sell you technology, to let you know how technology will help you out in life. and make your business so easy. You will be able to take more vacations on your own if you're the boss, right? So that's where we're here for.
I know that there's a Fultec system here, that which of course is the head of all of it. And then where else can I find a Fultec system?
In Belmopan, in our capital city.
And
So
if I live in, if I live in Punta Gorda, I live in the Toledo district, and I'm so mesmerized by all this information from Dell, and I need to get myself a Dell laptop or a Dell product. How can I get it? Do I need to come all the way to Belmopan?
No, you don't. Most of this could be done over the phone via email. You could email us at sales@fultec.com.bz, or our telephone number is 223-3226. And between that, you could even get us on WhatsApp. You could get us on Facebook. We do have a lot of different social medias that you can contact us. There are many ways and means to contact us.
Excellent.
Believe me.
Fultec
And
system.
we're willing to help. We're willing to actually provide you with that solution, even now.
Well, you know, that's definitely something we could reckon for the fact that you've brought in the professionals to tell us about the brand.
Yeah.
Jose, final words?
No, just really an invitation again. Any questions you have on the IT market, really our job is to help you navigate through that. So please, I mean, just pop the question, reach out to us, reach out to your partner, and let us have a conversation, and we can definitely find a way to help you and find the right balance between cost and value, right?
All right. Trevor?
Same thing. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself to do things differently, I would say. So you all have Trevor here. It's a great way to reach to us. If you want just more information, that has no extra cost. So.
Excellent. It was an excellent conversation with these guys. We know that seminar again is coming up at 8 o'clock. It's going to be at the Radisson Fort George Hotel. Definitely, we're thankful for Fultec Systems for bringing the professionals and telling us all about it. But coming up next, we've got our second segment. And I'll tell you this much, Kev, family planning is a human right. Now, that's actually the theme for this year's World Population Day. We've got representatives in from the United Nations Population Fund. They'll be telling us all about it coming up in our second segment. Stay tuned.